must record. And gentlemen, I would want you to appreciate one thing, that life is really full of learning episodes. Yeah, learning episodes. And learning, the very first time you engage in something, you really find it to be very, very difficult. You are taking lots of time on the very first unit that you produce. For example, if you're a carpenter, the very first chair that we produce will, in this case here, take you, for example, like 20 hours. So the first chair you produce, 20 hours. But should you make the second chair similar to the first one? Because now you learned when you are doing the first one, the second chair will take you relatively a shorter time. And that is what is called learning curve, that everything has its first. And once you have gone through the very first experience, the subsequent units that you're going to be producing will take relatively a shorter time. So tell us there that under learning curves, yeah, in this case here, tell us under learning curves, ladies and gentlemen, the more the production, yeah, in this case here, the higher, or rather, talk over, the more the production, the less the time will be taken for producing subsequent units here. So in this case, here, the learning curves, the more the production, the more we produce, the less the time will be taken for producing subsequent units. What is the reason behind this? Ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, the rationale behind this is that the more we produce, in this case here, the more the experience we acquire. So the most important thing is for us to know that learning curves are also known as what here? Are also known as experience curves. Experience curves. They are also known as experience curves. Please listen. Like the very first time that I was introduced to teaching AMA, the first cohort that I taught AMA, I really struggled with them. Yeah, but subsequently, in this case here, what happened? I mean, with the experience that I got, automatically, I started teaching the subject much better and much faster. Much better and much faster. For us to be able to appreciate what Mwalimu is talking about before we start doing questions, I would want us to capture these on a graph. So graphically, what are we talking about, my great students here? What we're talking about is something very interesting. We have what we call average time. We have what we call average time. Average time versus cumulative production. 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 And I would want us to appreciate one thing. As cumulative production increases, as cumulative production increases there, you can see the average time for subsequent units reducing. So there is an inverse relationship between cumulative production and average time, such that as the production is increasing, what is happening to average time? Average time is reducing. Average time is reducing. So you can mention, ladies and gentlemen, that there is an inverse relationship. There is an inverse relationship between cumulative production and, in this case here, average time. Average time. So what does this mean? What this means is that the cumulative, or rather the average time for producing subsequent units shall always reduce. So what you're saying here is that, i.e., the average time for producing, subsequent units, subsequent units reduces because of learning effects. Because of what here? Learning effects, full stop. So learning curve model, we are saying here that you can see the inverse relationship, that as the cumulative production is increasing, the average time is going down. So you're saying that the average time for producing subsequent units reduces because of what we are calling the learning effects. Because of learning effects. Even you at your workplaces, remember your very first day at work. What was supposed to be debited, in this case you are crediting. On the very first day of your work, most of us, we looked so much confused. Thanks to the managers we got there who were able to tolerate us for some time. And now we became what here later on? Experts. Now we are able to guide others. It's because of what we call learning curves. But now let me ask you a question. Look at this. And I would want you to just show it on the graph. K. Show it on the graph. And tell us there that K is the time of stability. K is the time of stability. K is the time of what here? The time of stability. I can see so many comments here. K is the time of stability. Now, please listen and listen to me very well, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the example of our carpenter. So if this carpenter, for example, took 10 hours to make the first chair, he took 8 hours to make the second chair, he took 6 hours to make the third chair, he's taking 4 hours to make the fourth chair, he's taking 3 hours to make the fifth chair, he's taking 2 hours in this case here to make the seventh, will he continue improving to that level where he becomes like God himself? Now you'll be saying, let there be a chair springs up. Is it possible for you to keep on learning forever until you become that expert who does not now require any time? You become like a magician? Is it possible? It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. After some time, ladies and gentlemen, we shall stabilize. So K is the time of what here? Stability. The time of stability. So it means that after you have stabilized, assuming you have stabilized on chair number 5, and chair number 5 took you 4 hours, and you've stabilized, no longer learning, it means that chair number 6 will take you 5 hours, or 4 hours, I mean. Chair number 7 will also take you 4 hours. Chair number 8, 4 hours, because now you're no longer learning. Yeah, and that is why you realize that even in this football, especially the global football clubs, they cannot hold on to you as I'm saying. Yeah, in this case here, they will be able to, work with you until maybe you are age 23, 24. From there now you start taking the bench. Yeah, because it reaches a point, not unless you are really that exceptional, like the Beckhams, it reaches a point where you can no longer improve. Your bones are very, very stiff. So, ladies and gentlemen, this learning curve is applicable in everything. The mothers that we have around, you can imagine your first kid. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Yeah, even for example, how you are taking care of them at home. Yeah, any small sneeze, you are taking them to hospital. So you did the second one, a bit learning here and there, you got from the first kid. The third kid, in this case, even when they are like 2 years, you're already disciplining them. You're already, in this case, you're slapping them a little bit, right? That is what we call learning. Yeah, learning, you're learning. Remember the first kid, how many times you were running to the hospital? Yeah, so there is learning in everything. But ladies and gentlemen, we are saying that this learning comes with what are subsequent units, especially if you're producing very similar tools. Yeah, great. Very similar goods. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for us here, as we go to our past paper, for us, what are we supposed to be knowing about this learning? What you're supposed to be knowing about this learning, ladies and gentlemen, is this, the formula. The formula. Once you appreciate the formula very good, yeah, then you are done. So this formula goes like this, that our y equals ax raised to power b plus 1. That is our y. So this y is total labor hours or cost. That is total labor hours or cost. A is time taken to produce the first unit. Time taken to produce first unit. Time taken to produce the first unit, that is A. It will also be the cost taken. Time or cost incurred. Cost incurred to produce the first unit. X is cumulative production. X is cumulative production. X is cumulative production. Yeah. B is what we call the learning index. B is the learning index. And how do we get this learning index? There is a formula. It is log R over log 2. Anytime they want us to give them B, we shall take log R divided by log 2. Somebody should be able to assist that ninja there who wants the past papers. Please share the link. So anytime they want us to give them B, B is log R over log 2. Now, mwalimu, I hated logarithms in high school. Again, I'm meeting them here. Mantisa characteristic. That will not be here. Here we shall be using a calculator throughout. So you should not fear. The only thing you need to do is to cram the formula of getting B. So this B is the learning rate. Not B, but R is the learning rate. Please write your R properly. Learning rate. Learning rate. E.g., my good students, e.g., if R equals 0.9 or 90%, could you kindly give me the value of B? If R is 0.9 or 90%, could you kindly give me the value of B, somebody, to show you that this is really easy? Yeah, to show you that this is really, really easy. If learning rate is 90%, then what will be the value of B? What will be the value of B? Have they mastered the formula of getting boy? To get the boy, thank you so much. To get the boy, Mildred has already known the formula of getting the boy. Getting our boy. Getting our boy, ladies and gentlemen. To get our boy, we are taking logarithm over R over logarithm of 2. So this will be logarithm of 0.9 over logarithm of 2 over logarithm of 2. So you, I'm seeing you. This person who does not have a calculator, I'm seeing you. Please ensure that you wake up from wherever you are, look for a calculator. That calculator, there is a button written logarithm, log, L-O-G. So you press log 0.9 over log 2. You'll get, in this case here, a negative figure. Yeah, negative 0.152. So this gives us negative 0.152. All of us up to here, are we comfortable? Have you pressed your calculator or are you copying our figures? They have in this case here copied my figures. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to take an example down that I'm writing for you here. So illustration now. Illustration. So my illustration, they have given us A. A is 50. They have given us the learning rate. The learning rate is 0.8. Let me write it as 80% to confuse some of us. Let me write this as 80% to confuse some of us. So this is R. Yeah, and then we are required to calculate number 1. Yeah, let's talk of number 1 so that I don't confuse this is A. So number 1, the time taken to produce. Time taken to produce the first 20 units. The first 20 units. Time taken to produce the first 20 units. Pardon, yeah. A pressed call, I don't know. So pardon, remember Wanjiko, it's very, very easy. You'll even be able to see it from here. Eh? Just write this, you'll be able to see from here. I've not understood the pressing call. So just write this one, you'll be able to understand from here. So remember, R is the rate of learning. R is the rate of learning. So Wanjiko, I can promise you, I know you'll understand when I do this. So ladies and gentlemen, once you guys have been able to write this question, I'll be able to go ahead and solve this one. So solution. The very first thing I will do, Wanjiko, here is to get the learning index B. How do we get learning index B? It is logarithm of R over logarithm of 2. So in this case here, it will be logarithm, don't say 80%. It must be point something. So logarithm 0.8 over logarithm 2. Are you able to give me this answer? Logarithm 0.8, Wanjiko. Just take your calculator. There is a button there written log, log. I would really love to get that answer from Wanjiko. I'll be very, very happy. Yeah, you look for logarithm 0.8 divided by logarithm 0.2. So I don't know whether Wanjiko, you've been able to get this. The students are telling me it is negative 0.3219. We should round this off to 4 decimal places always, 0.3219. 0.3219. I'm getting 381. It's because, Peter, you must have said log 80, log 80%. Say log 0.8 over log 2, and then we compare notes. Peter, say to log 0.8 divided by log 2, and then we compare notes. I can see already, Purity, you have taken over. You're prophesying a CPA finalist. Amen. Great. Peter, I'm waiting for you. Peter, I'm waiting for you. Say log 0.8 divided by log 2. And Wanjiko, you never gave me feedback, whether you got this. Wanjiko, you never gave me feedback. I've been trying, looking for you here. I always love feedback. Oh, I got, okay. The final answer. Peter is looking at the final answer. Thank you so much. Now, after we get this, remember our formula. Our formula is y equals ax raised to b plus 1. So then we must get the b plus 1 power, the exponent. So go ahead and give us b plus 1. It will be minus 0.3219 plus 1. Because I want this power, the exponent. Because I want the exponent. So according to some ninja here, Bahati, he's getting 0.6781. 0.6781. Thank you so much. Great. Then with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be able to rub this out. And I reiterate here that our y equals ax raised to power b plus 1. So now that we have this exponent and we have got a, we can come and write y equals a, which is 50, x raised to 0.6781. So now I have a predictive model. And remember, they want us to give them time taken to produce the first 20 units. So that means what here? X is 20. X is 20. X is 20. And if X is 20, then I will be able to give you the value of Y. I will be able to give you the value of Y. So my Y, ladies and gentlemen, here will be 50 into 20. This 20 is being raised to 0.6781. So say 50 times 20, and then ensure that you are using the raised function. Ensure that you are using the raised function. Raised. We are using the raised function. Yeah, Claire, it's just some question I got from my head. 381.24. 381. Is there anybody who has a question on how we got these hours for producing the first, in this case here, 20 units? Any question? I believe. I believe we are okay. And if we are okay, then I'll be able to straight away, ladies and gentlemen, give you another question. That's Roman 1. That's Roman 1. Now I'm giving you Roman 2. Now I'm giving you Roman 2. So this Roman 2, I want you to give me the time taken to produce units 21 to units 30. The time taken to produce units 21 to units 30. Same question, but now the second part of it. Time taken to produce units 21 and units 30. And remember, my students are very aggressive. They always scratch. Yeah, they always scratch things. They're disturbing themselves to ensure that they're able to answer these. Where do we get the first 20 units? It was in the question, the first 20 units. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, learning curves is always a cumulative output model. So I've seen students in this case here, for example, trying to tell me, Mwalimu, X here is 9. When I ask them, how are you getting 9? Then they tell me it's 30 minus 21. No. So in this case here, when we talk of Y, this needs expansion. Y, in this case here, 21 to 30, I must expand this. It will be Y first 30 minus Y first something. Yeah, because when I say Y first 30, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 up to 30. 1, 2, 3 up to 30. But you see, they don't want all of them. There are some units in this case that are being cut out. And if I look at this question very well, where they are cutting at, I'll be able to tell. Because 21 to 30 is what is required. So I'll be able to see that these guys are cutting the first. How many units are being cut? If you have your internal eyes, from 21 to 30 is required. So you'll be able to see the number that is being cut. 20, yes. You'll be able to see, if I have my internal eyes, I'll be able to see the number being cut. It is the first 20. Don't cut 21 because 21 is in the good range. Is in the good range. So, and if you remember, we had our Y. Our Y was 50x raised to 0.6781. And you're telling me that Y 21 to 30 is Y first 30 minus Y first 20. If we're in agreement, I'm plugging in. You see, this 50 will be applicable to each of these. The 50 will be put outside. 30 is the first X there. So 30 raised to 0.6781 minus this is the second X. 20 raised to 0.6781 like that. So is there somebody then who is able to give me this answer? You can either decide to do this separately. Yeah, quite intensive. I don't want that. I would rather in this case here put this A outside because A is applicable to both. So 50 times, open brackets, this raised to that minus that raised to that. And then I'll be able to get an answer. I'll be able to get an answer. So is there somebody in this case here who is able to get an answer there? Anybody who is able to get an answer here? I'm lost, okay. So we have 120.65. 120.65. 120.65. Allow me to pick the student who is lost a little bit here. A is constant, yes. Thank you for asking that. A is always constant. It's applicable across. It's applicable across. For me to be able to assist this student who has just asked a question, I would first of all recommend that you write up to where you have reached. Once you write up to where we have reached, I'll be able to give you an example. I'll be able to give you another example that is similar to this, which will be able to help you come up to terms with what I'm discussing. So for example, assuming I can come now and rub this, yeah. If I rub this, so now we are given number 3. So number 3, they want the time for producing units 93 to units 99. Could you kindly try that? Units 93 to units 99. Especially the student who was lost. The first thing that I will do, I have my model. Remember the model, we already got the model, which is applicable across all questions that you are doing for this. Our model was 50x raised to 0.6781. But you see, this needs some expansion. And I can see the number that is being cut. Is there somebody who is able to tell me the number from this arrangement? Which number is being cut? Which number is being cut? 92 is being cut. 92 is unwanted. What is wanted is from 93 to 99. What is wanted is from 93 to 99. So in that case, ladies and gentlemen, when I expand, I will come and write this y 93 to 99 like this. And then I'll be able to say y first 99 minus y first the unwanted now, first 92. Yeah. And then now you'll be able to do your abracadabra because you play around with x is the variable. 50, somebody told us 50 is the constant. So 50 must be put outside brackets like this. And then now you can see x is 99 raised to 0.6781 minus 92 raised to 0.6781 like that. So then you get your calculator out. You say 50 times, open brackets, 99. You use this raised. In your calculator, we have that raised. In our calculator, we have that raised. So you say 99 raised to that minus 92 raised to that. You'll be able to get that answer of 54.71. You'll be able to get that answer of 54.71. 54.71. So I don't know whether the student who said that they were lost, now they are able to get something out of this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you the last one. I will give you the last question out of this. I'll give you the last question out of this. And this is so important to me in my today's session. This is so important to me in my today's session. Very important to me. Very important to me. Number 4 out of this is the time taken to produce the 52nd unit. 52nd unit. The time taken to produce the 52nd unit. Yeah, 𝐂𝐸𝐶𝐚, very, very good question. We shall be able to reach there. There are times the examiner doesn't give you R, the learning rate. How then do we calculate it? Using the doubling path principle. You're ahead of me just slightly. We shall reach there. So time taken to produce the 52nd unit. 52nd unit. Time taken to produce the 52nd unit. Is not X being 52. They are very specific for a particular unit. So remember, we know that our Y is 50x raised to 0.6781, right? Right? But you see, they want Y 52nd. Can somebody help us expand this? This needs expansion. This needs expansion. Can somebody help me expand this? Because if you say X is 52, then we'll be accounting for all the units up to 52. Thank you so much, Aggie. We cut 51. These students are geniuses, I can tell you. We are going to cut, because here, what they are telling us is, Mwalimu, take all the first 52. Take all the first 52, and then you cut 51. You cut first 51. You cut first 51. You cut first 51. You cut first 51. And then remember, this one is applicable. So we have this is 50 into 52 raised to 0.6781 minus 51 raised to 0.6781, which in this case here then will end up giving us what figure? $9.53. 9.53. Thank you so much. 9.53. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have another illustration here. This illustration is so crucial to us. This illustration is so crucial to us. Yeah, it's so crucial to us. Yeah, it is November 2016, question number 2B. We're almost finishing our class. When I start doing past paper questions, I'm normally happy. November 2016, question number, November 2016, question number 2B. Question number 2B. November 2016, question number 2B. Please, if you have that past paper. Okay, Silver, we never specified whether it was in hours or minutes. So in this case, it's just open. You can decide to use hours or minutes. That shows that you're a very good accountant who wants to use the proper dimensions for these numbers. Yeah, somebody should be able to share these past papers with this ninja, Brian Mutuku. But specifically, I would want somebody to share this past paper of November 2016, question number 2B. So this is the question of innovators. The question of innovators. Innovators. So is there somebody who has been able to get that question? Anybody who has been able? Yeah, it is already given to us here, Mildred. I mean, you're God sent. Thank you so much. All of them are here. All of them are here. So November 2016, question number 2B. You can search it using Control Find. You search for innovators. You search for innovators. And today I want to do this in a funny way. I would want you to attempt this question before I do it. Somebody should be able to attempt it. We see how far you would have gone with it. So Control Find, innovators, innovators, innovators. Is it here really, this question? Right out. From what the lady has given me, it seems innovators is not there. It seems that question is not there in that handout. Innovators, innovators. It's not here. So somebody else should be able to share papers that, oh, are you able to send yours? All right. So this November 2016 question number 2B, now that we are on top of things, because people are saying, Mwalimu, it is there. You are the one who is not able to find it. I would want to give you exactly 10 minutes. Exactly 10 minutes, which are also corresponding to the Muslim prayer time, 10 minutes. I want you to try your best. I want to get some feedback. Do the question. Do the question. So I'll only come back at exactly 6:53, and then we get to see Amin, who has tried this question their very best. We give them cash. Give them cash. There is something I want to see there. Yeah, do the question. Do the question. You are doing the question. So I'm giving you exactly 10 minutes, not to go and do something different. No, we are reading this question, we do it. And then I do another one, we forget about this topic. With those two questions that we shall do intensively, you'll be able to answer whichever question that is given on your past papers. So is there somebody who has already started doing the question? Anybody who has already started reading, actually reading the question, reading the question, reading the question? And I'm so sure there must be a ninja who will just take the 10 hours beautifully there and they'll not do anything. And they'll not be able to understand the topic very well. All of them will be able to listen to me. They are doing the question. Do the question. Thank you. Present. Who is going to get our today's present? Let's see. Who is going to get our today's present? Let's see. Who is going to get our today's present? Let's see. is going to get our today's present. So let's see. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are told here is that Innovators Limited has designed a new model of a manufacturing machine. The cost and sales price of the first machine. So they're giving us information for A, because A is about the first unit produced. The cost and sales price of the first machine to be produced has been estimated as follows. So you can see materials, labor, overheads. We can see profit markup, selling price. The company plans to sell all the machines at full cost plus 25%. A 90% learning curve is expected to apply to the production work. Only one customer has expressed interest in buying the machine so far, but is viewing this 87,500,000 as too high a price to pay. This one here. He could buy more of the items in the coming periods. If the customer above paid 87,500,000 for the first machine, determine the price he would have to pay later for a second machine. Ladies and gentlemen, this question is straightforward. What a good student is supposed to know is that learning curve is only applicable to labor. There will be no learning curve for materials. There will be no learning curve for overheads. Of course, overheads, yeah, they'll be dependent on the labor, but you know that we shall be using learning curves to estimate the labor cost. So then if that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, the very first preambles that I would have done are these. I have identified, in this case here, please listen. We shall not do so many questions here. Only one question should be able to break the entire ceiling for us to get into the realm of these learning curves. So we are estimating in number one, labor cost for second machine. That is the most interesting thing, using learning curves, using LC, using learning curves. Fortunately, they have told me that the learning rate is 90%. 90% is the same as 0.9. Once I see these R, I shall convert it to B, boy. So my B will be log R over log 2. It shall be log R over log 2. Log R over log 2. Yeah. So in that case, ladies and gentlemen, oh, you guys are way ahead of me, but you'll just allow me to finish this. So it will be log 0.9 over logarithm 2, which in this case here, somebody has already told me, will end up being minus 0.152. So all of us, were we able to get this value of B? That's a mark. 1 mark in management accounting, advanced management accounting, can make you see places that you've never seen before. Once you get B, take it a notch higher towards breakage of our ceiling by giving us B plus 1. We shall overcome. Plus 1. Minus 0.152 plus 1, which gives us 0.848. Thank you so much. Yeah, 0 is neither here nor there. That's very good. So in this particular case, A will be the labor. If you want to get this very well, A will be the labor cost for the first machine. I can use it as labor time for first machine. I can use it as a labor time, but if I'm able to establish the labor cost for the first machine, my work will become very easy. My work will become really easy. Really easy. So you can see here, labor, don't take this 2,000. You'll still get the same answers, but if I were you, they've already done this for me. 2,000 times 15,000 is 30,000 shillings thousands. So 30,000. So this labor for the first machine is what I will use, 30,000. Labor cost, 30,000. 30,000. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we can now easily remember our formula is y equals ax raised to power b plus 1. Writing this formula will again give you a mark, even if it's 0.5 over mark. I've marked this MA for long. I know students don't get anything much. Yeah, so if you're able to get like 1 here and there, you'll pass very, very easily. Yeah, and therefore, ladies and gentlemen, our y will be equal to A. A in this case here is 30,000. A is 30,000. X raised to 0.848, like that. Yeah, that is our equation. Now from there, I'll come and ask myself, these people want labor cost for the second machine. They don't want the first two machines, no, for the second machine. And then I'll be able to remember very fast that here, there is some expansion to be done because they are specifically looking for a particular positional machine, second machine. So this has to be expanded. So they want, in this case here, labor, which is Y, for the second machine. So somebody who expanded said what minus what. So even if you got it right, I would want you to look at this and listen to me very carefully because you must be on the same page. We must be on the same page. Yeah, Wasabi, that must be your network. Thank you so much, 𝐂𝐤. So 𝐂𝐤 has told me, Mwalimu, this one is easy. Come and say Y, first 2 minus Y, first 1. And once you have done that, then you have your equation here. Put A outside, 30,000 into 2 raised to 0.848 minus this X now is 1 raised to 0.848. So please go ahead and give me this labor cost. Yeah, we can do it in thousands, Marion. You don't have to turn them back to 30 million. No, we don't do that. Let's do them in thousands. So in this case here, this gives us 24,000. I'm 100% sure that there is a ninja here. There is a student here who was able to use a different approach, but at the end of the day, they got the 24,000, which is okay, because there are many ways of killing a rat. But the way I want us to use is the one of burning the entire house to kill all of them. Yeah, easier ways, shortcuts like that. So this is very good. Now, once you've gotten labor cost, the next thing now is to do a cost and revenue statement. So now we are in very good stead to come and now do the cost and revenue statement. Second machine. So costs, of course, we have material, we have labor, we have overheads, we have total profit, revenue. So what is the material cost for the second machine? Material cost, there is nothing like learning. Material cost from one machine to the other, material cost is ever constant. So material cost, there is no learning. Material cost, there is no learning. Yeah, thanks for asking. It can either be hours or cost, but preferably use cost. Where will I stay after burning the house? But at least the rats won't be there. Well, that's a figurative joke. So you see this material for the first machine was 25. Because materials, there is nothing like learning there. So also materials for the second one will be 25,000. Will be 25,000. For the second will be 25,000. Thank you so much. So do we have labor cost for the second machine, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have labor cost for the second machine? Don't take the labor cost of the first one. Because labor cost, we expect the more we produce, the more the learning. So labor cost will be reducing. So labor cost, always remember labor cost use the learning curve. We got 24,000. So what have they told us about overhead cost? There is a way of getting this. Overhead cost, they'll always tell you the way of absorbing them. Overheads are common. So overhead, they've given a criteria here. It's 50% of labor cost. 50% of labor cost. So in this case here, overheads, so this will be 50% of 24,000. It gives us 12,000. 50% of this labor. So give us total cost. Give us total cost. So total cost, I can see very many. Tinega, you can use 2,000 and still get the same answer, although you'll go a longer way. Because first, you'll have to get total number of hours, you start multiplying by the rate. If you're able to see the cost of making the first unit, always use the cost. Use the cost. Thanks for asking. So 12,000. So the total here is 61,000. So 61,000, given that this is cost, we shall mark it up. So markup for profit, and the examiner will always give you the markup policy. The examiner will always give you the markup policy. So markup, yeah, markup, you can see full cost plus, they'll never tell you here, they'll tell you here. Profit markup is 25% of the cost. So 25%. So markup, 25% of the 61,000, which gives you what figure? 15,250. And then some ninja has given me the total. The total. So this total, of course, will be revenue. Total revenue now. So the total revenue, some ninja has already given me an answer. They have told me it is 76,250. 76,250, which will be the selling price. Because you see, this is revenue for one machine. Revenue for one machine. Remember, if this was total revenue for 2, then selling price would have been this divided by 2. This is just revenue for machine number 2. Just one machine like this. Ladies and gentlemen, out of whatever you've done, is there somebody who has been able to learn? Is there learning which has happened? Is there learning which has happened? Yeah, great. I can see there is a ninja who got it. I'll be able to come back to that and ask who was the first. Don't first of all go there. Now, thank you so much. So they want us to advise the management of Innovators Limited on the price quotation per machine. If the customer above places an order for the 3rd and the 4th machines as a single order. If I knew that you guys were working on this question when I give you some time, if I knew all of you were practicing, I would have given you time. But I know there are some two ninjas there. There are not many, about 5. Now, because of that, let me just do the question direct. Although for this kind of sensitive areas, it's always important that I give you some minutes. You just attempt. So long as you try, even if you don't get it right, so what? On that note, let me give you only 5. You two ninjas who are just looking at me, you two ninjas, I will come to your home and I'll fish you out of that place because now you're not doing the right thing. Because here I want you to try. If you try and you get it wrong, there'll be learning happening. There is no learning without stains. There's no learning without stains. Trust you me. There's no learning without stains. This Roman 2. So like purity is that ninja I'm talking about. No, purity, just try. Especially just getting the labor cost only. Just getting the labor cost for the 3rd and 4th machines. I'll be very happy for only 5 minutes only. 5 minutes only. So I'll come back at 7:17. I'm just standing here, but please, I know what I'm driving at. These are paper I've taught for so long. If I don't involve you, you will think it's easy, but it will defeat some of you. I don't want that to happen. We need to have bye-byes with some of these subjects. And the AMA is not like AFM. You know, AFM is a bit easy. You can go there and discount. AMA paper can be rough, a rough paper. Because I've gotten so many people calling me, Mwalimu, this is the 4th time I'm failing in AMA. So we need to know how to say bye-bye to these papers. And to say bye-bye is getting involved, getting dirty. There's no learning without stains. Even Omo tells us that. Maggie, that's why I'm giving you time to try. If you see Maggie complaining about speed there, I'm so sure, Maggie, you are not trying. Try the question. Try the question, get it wrong. Otherwise, the process. Actually, when I'm teaching this, I don't make an assumption that somebody has ever tried it. And if they ever tried it, I'm so sure their teacher never used this method that I'm using. So everybody's learning these things afresh. Never be sure that there's anybody who has an upper hand. Never. Never. Everybody's trying. Everybody's trying to understand this for the very first time, and they are running with the ball. They're running with the ball. Peter shall overcome. Now put that behind you. You don't understand how you feel. Put that behind you now. I'm so happy with this class. I can see everybody, even if they are giving me different answers, but everybody is trying to do something. Everybody is trying to do something. Do we have any ninja by any chance who has not tried to write anything totally? Any ninja that has not written anything, not even Roman 2. Yeah, Firadaus, great. Nancy, great. Aflin, great. Like Aflin is a new student. Metrin, great. So then I can see, ladies and gentlemen, I still have 1 more minute for all the ninjas to write something. For all the ninjas to write something. $71, $750 for each. Okay, Javan, great. So I can see it is, no, it's not that 77. Yeah, it is now 717. So can you now allow me to do the write-up now? Can I go ahead and solve the question now? Yeah, the prices, that's a very good observation. The price reduces. Yeah. The more the units you order, the price, because of what? Learning. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was great. That was great. So then what I need to know here, you see, they want us to give them, Y for the 3rd and the 4th. So there are too many ways of doing this. Method 1. Method 1. Method 1, I can lump everything together. So they want me to give them Y 3 to 4. Sinikweli. Y 3 to 4. So first of all, we get the labor time for this third and fourth. So then this would mean that I expand. So when I expand, this will be y what? When I expand this will be y what? For expansion, it will be y4 minus y4 minus y2, yes. So y first 4 minus y first 2, like that. Great. So do you still remember our equation? Remember our equation, we had A outside the 30,000, eh? Yeah. So 4, the power here was 0.848 minus 2, 0.848, like that. Is there somebody who is able to give me this labor cost? So first of all, I'm getting labor cost for machines 3 and machines 4. I combine 43,200. So we have here 43,200. I don't know whether Maggie have been able to catch up. Maggie, have you been able to get that value? 43,200. 43,200. Yeah, great. Then now we do cost and revenue statement. I will not rub mine, but I'll just come and make some adjustment here. So here, great, Maggie. So now we have here third and fourth machine. Now, how many machines are we accounting for at the same time? 2 of them. So remember, material cost of 25,000 was for only 1 machine. So material cost for 2 of them will be how much? Because there is no learning in terms of material. 50,000. 50,000. Labor cost, don't tell me take this times 2. Labor cost is learning curve. So labor cost, we know it's learning curve, 43,200. All right. Overhead cost is 50% of the labor. Overhead cost, it will be 50% of the labor. 21,600. Give us the total here. Give us the total cost. 114,800. 114,800. Then we have, ladies and gentlemen, markup. We have markup. We have markup. Markup is 25% of the total cost of 114,800. 28,700. Give us the total revenue for 2 machines. You take this plus this. Give us an answer. 143,500. Gladys and Timon. 143,500. Then what is the revenue per machine? Revenue per machine. So revenue per machine, it will be 143,500 divided by 2, which will be exactly equal to what here, the price, the selling price per machine. 71,750. So I'm 100% sure that there is somebody who used a different method, but at the end of the day, they have ended up getting the same answer with us. There is somebody who did the price for machine 3, the price for machine 4, and then they added the 2 divided by 2 to get an average price. That's why I gave you a chance to try the question. Is there somebody who used a different method and yet they have gotten the same answer? Yeah, great. I missed materials were 2. I used 2K and you have still gotten the same. I got them right. Yes. Great. 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 Used first 5. Why first 5? Why first 5? Uruka. Kumbuka upper limit huwezi songesha. Upper limit huwezi songesha. upper limit will back the same, but the one you're cutting is the one you take this minus 1. Eh? Thanks for that. You see there is no learning without stains. Got it. Was very interesting, Meshach. But have you understood the concept now, Meshach? Have you understood the concept, Meshach? We're divided by 2. Thanks. You know, these are how many machines? It's machine 3 and machine 4. Eh? There are 2 machines. So whatever revenue you have here is for 2 machines. And you want price. Price means what here? Revenue per machine. So you divide by 2. Aha. So they want me to do method 2. Are they ready for method 2? You give the prices separately. Ah, great. Great, great, great. Good questions there. Somebody's asking. Okay, let me go slowly there to be able to help everybody. Now, what they're telling me is that Mwalimu, come here and do these things separately. No worries. So we do Y3. Y3 alone. So machine 3. Machine 3. So for machine 3, then I'll say Y first 3 minus Y first 2. Si hapo iko sawa? For machine 3, si hapo iko sawa? Hapo iko sawa for machine 3. Yes. Then you come here, remember, it will be 30,000 outside, the A, which you had gotten, the A was 30,000. Into 3 raised to the power, minus 2 raised to the power, like that. So can somebody give me this? The labor cost for machine number 3. Somebody give me the labor cost for machine number. Remember, we used these learning curves to estimate the labor cost. To estimate the labor cost. Even if you got it using this second one, you must also assist me do this. Yeah. You must assist me to do this. Y for the third one, then we do Y for the fourth one. I'm waiting for your answers. You take 30,000 times, open brackets, 3 raised to that, minus 2 raised to that, and then you give me an answer. I can't read any answer nowhere. Is it? Or 22? 22, 159. 22, 159. Thank you very much. 22, 159. Now, can you kindly go ahead and do the same for machine 4? Go ahead and do the same for machine 4. Go ahead and do the same for machine 4. So for machine 4, what do we have? First of all, this needs expansion. So it is Y4. So it will be Y first 4 minus Y first 3. Yeah. Then remember our equation. I hope you remember our equation. Our learning equation was Y equals 30,000 X raised to 0.848 like that. So then these will be 30,000 into 4 raised to 8.48 minus 3 raised to 0.848 like that. So are you able to give us this answer? Are you able to give us this answer? $30,000 times 4 raised to that minus 3 raised to that. So somebody is giving me a figure of 21,042 million. 21,042. Thank you so much. 21,042. And then now you come and give us the cost and revenue statements. So we start with material. So we have here machine 3. We have here machine 4. So we start with materials. So material, remember now we are treating these machines independently. We are treating these machines independently, yeah? We are treating these machines independently. So then what is the material cost for each one of them? What is the material cost for each of these machines? 25,000. So machine 3 will be 25,000. 25,000. Then we have labor. Labor, fortunately, we have used learning curve. And learning curve has given us 22, 159, machine 3. And then we have 21, 042, machine 4. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have overheads. Remember overheads? Overheads was 50% of labor. 50% of labor. So just give me a whole number. Could you kindly give me 50% of this, 0.5 of this, 0.5 of this? Because overheads is 50% of labor, 50% of labor. So Abuto, 10, 080, no? Yeah, it will be 11, by the way. 11,080. Check again, Abuto. 11,080. How about overheads for machine 4? 50% of 21,042. 10,521. Firdaus. 10,521. 10,521. Then come and give me the total. Give me the total. Total cost. Total cost. For machine 3, can somebody add up everything? For machine 3, CPA Johnson, thanks, because we are prophesying. We are prophesying we shall be getting 58,239. 58,239. And then total cost for machine 4, it will be that plus that plus that. Machine 4. Machine 4. 56,563. 55,563. Is it 55 or 56? 56. Yeah, 563. Then come and give us markup. Markup is 25%. 25% of the cost. So 25% of this. 25% of this. 25% of this. 14,560. So we have here 14,560. How about 25% of this? 14,141. 14,141. So please give me this will automatically be selling prices. This will be selling prices because they are for each unit. You don't have to call them revenue. They are selling prices. Selling prices. Don't call them revenue. Shayla gives me 72, 7704. 7704. How about machine 3? Machine 3. Machine 3, I'm waiting. 72,799. 72,799. But now, ladies and gentlemen, these machines are going to one customer. You know, here the examiner wants to trick you to deny you the mark for the final answer. They are going to one customer. So will you tell this customer that because of learning curves, this one machine I'm selling you at 72,799, and then the other one I'm selling you to you at 70,74? It doesn't make sense. That's why you need to average and tell this person, ladies and gentlemen, that we are selling to you these machines each at. Otherwise, you just look at it logically. That you go to somebody is making these things, is enjoying some learning curve, so he has like 10 machines he's selling, and then tells you this one a different price. No. It is upon me to now find that I've enjoyed the concept of learning curve, and I would want to pass the benefit to this customer by averaging, and then we give them one price. So it will be 72,799 plus 70,704 divided by 2. So apart from rounding off errors, I expect the answer we get here to be exactly equal to the answer we got using the other method. 71,752. 71,7. Apart from in this 71,752. 71,752. 71,752. So is this answer the same, Maggie, with the other answer we got using the other method? Apart from rounding off errors. Apart from rounding off errors. Yes. The other one was 71,750, yeah? 71,750, yeah. Rounding off errors. Same. Variance of 2 only. Now, let me ask you a question. Which method is better? Which method is better between the two? Yeah. Yeah, the first one. And actually, this is a very useless method. Actually, if I were you, I would even write there. This is a very useless method. Do you know why? And I've seen this one costing my students. Because there is a time they brought and told students you'll be able to see that question on the past papers, machines 4 to machines 8. So and a ninja here was calculating for each one of them, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You end up using more than an hour doing a useless question. If they tell me why 4 to 8, as a serious ninja, chief ninja, why 4 to 8? I will come and expand this. Say it is y first 8 minus y first who? First 3. And then I get labor time for the condensed, for the total. And then I roll the ball. I roll the ball. I roll the ball. Yeah, I roll the ball. So now, are we together? Can we go now to the next concept? Can we go to the next concept? Yeah, we go to the next concept. So this next concept is very interesting because it is about stability time. Stability time. It's about stability time. Stability time. Yeah, stability time. And this stability time, I would want to dictate a question that you guys will be able to write. And then we do a past paper question if time allows. And then after that, I know you are free. After that, you are free. You go and sleep. After that, I know you are very free. You go and sleep. Yeah. Or AFM next year. I remember the timetable is AFM next. That's why I need to release you from this place. The next 10 minutes, I should be able to release you. Relax. Relax. Just write this. The first batch of a new product. First batch of a new product. First batch of a new product. Of a new product. Of a new product. Took 20 hours. Took 20 hours to produce. To produce. Full stop. R, they're giving us R of 90%. R is 90%. Required. If learning ceases after 72 batches. After 72 batches. If learning ceases after 72 batches, into bracket, i.e. all subsequent batches, or subsequent batches, take the same time as the 72nd. Take the same time as the 72nd. Full stop. Aha. So then how long will it take to make the first 100 batches? How long will it take to make the first 100 batches? So this will take me only 5 minutes, and then I give you an assignment, and that will be it. So once you finish writing up to there, can you kindly, in this case here, say Y for yes once you finish writing? Yeah, so they are okay now. So then the homework that I will give them, ladies and gentlemen, it's a question called Jumbo Limited, but I never took the question sitting. No, I'll be able to send it in the WhatsApp group, no problem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to do this question really is a very, very easy thing. So you can see here, we are progressing on very well. So we have here our quantity. So we have our line. When we reach 72, unit number 72, we stabilize. After unit number 72, now moving forward, 73rd, 74th, all those units here will be enjoying stability time. You can see here we are learning. So then the first thing, ladies and gentlemen, you shall do in this kind of a question, is to calculate the stability time. How do you calculate this stability time? First of all, give us the equation. Give us the learning curve equation. So the learning curve equation, we have our boy. We know that our boy is log R divided by log 2. Even if we know what our boy is, it will be very important for us to come and just substitute over log 2. I'm so sure you guys are so much now used to that minus 0.152. Thank you so much. This is MB. Jumbo, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, that is a very, very good question for them. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is homework. Kama utakuwa unafanya homework, nitakuwa na kuchuna masikio. Hiyo ndio corporal punishment. May 20, ukose kuattempt. Mwanafunzi mzuri una attempt, alafu unatuma kwa group. Ukikosa, unakuja pale Commonwealth House, na kupatia zawadi na kuchuna masikio. Sababu sasa ufanye homework hata moja. MA lazima ujaribu. MA si kama AFM. Lazima ujaribu. Hata ukikosea, this is adult learning. Hata ukikosea, so what? So long as you've tried, you will really love the subject. You love the subject. So I hope they have taken keenly this homework, which I expect them to do immediately today after AFM before they sleep. However tired you will be. So once we get to B, come and give us B plus Y. It will be minus 0.152 plus 1, which will be 0.848. So our equation Y equals AX raised to B plus 1. Is there someone who is able to give me my A from the question? You can see here they haven't given you cost. They haven't given us cost. Nibebe kiboko, eh? Oh, okay. Anashanga huyo anachuna dadi aje masikio. Msalimie sana. So A is 20. X raised to 0.848. Mwambie ni Chief Ninja. Anataka kuchuna dadi masikio huyo. Y equals 20 x raised to 0.848. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen. Listen here. You see, they've told us we are going to stabilize on the 72nd unit. So basically, I need to get Y 72nd. Is there somebody who can do that for me? Y 72nd? That is the time of stability. You can write there time of stability is the time of producing the 72nd unit, which needs some expansion. So this needs some expansion. Y 72nd. Where do we get 20 from, Claire? It's given in the question. The questions are dictated. Maybe you had a problem with your internet. I said the time taken to make the first batch was 20 hours. Maybe you had a problem with your internet. In the question, there is a question you've just written right now. And then we said the time for making the first batch. Remember, A is the time for making the first unit. Yeah, great. So then this Y 72nd, it will be Y first 72 minus Y first 71. So kuja hapa weka 20. Inje jameni. 20. So 72 raised to 0.848 minus 71 raised to 0.848. So is there somebody who could be having this? $8.86, right? 8.86 per unit, because it's only one unit, 8.86 per unit. And then now once you finish doing this, and this is the concept being tested here, because here they stabilized at 64th batch. Ladies and gentlemen, once you reach here, you should be able to come, oye, abracadabra, and draw this. Remember, in total, there are 100 batches. There are 100 batches. Out of these 100 batches, we have in this case here batches where stability time is being used, and we have those batches where learning curve is being used. So remember, learning curve, we shall continue learning up to unit number 72. So 72 batches or units. 72 batches. And then, of course, now, because there are 100 in total, this will be 28 batches. 28 batches. But now remember, the first 72 batches, we are using the learning curve equation to estimate. So we're using LC. And our LC equation is 20 times X, which is 72, raised to 0.848. So the first 72 batches, we are enjoying LC. We are enjoying learning curve. So the learning curve equation will be used. So 20 times 72 raised to 0.848. Where did I get the 28 from? Because all the batches in this case here must add up to 100. So remember, the first 72 batches, until we stabilize, we are enjoying learning curve. So there we shall use learning curve equation to predict. Yeah, so in this case here, we have 20 times 72 raised to that. So is there somebody who can give me this? Is there somebody who can? 752. Gladys is giving me 752 hours. Now, can I kindly ask you a question? What do you think shall I be able to do to get the time for 28 batches? The time for 28 batches, what do you think shall I do? The time for these 28 batches as I go, I promised only 5 minutes. What do you think shall I do to be able to get the total time? Multiply by the time of the 72nd, because now each one of them will be using constant time. So in this case here, come and use the 8.86. It was per unit, per batch. 8.86 per batch. So in this case here, we have 28 times 8.86 times 8.86. So 28 times 8.86. Thank you, Nancy. So we have here 28 times 8.86, which will end up giving us what answer? 248. Of course, in an exam, you'll not round off like that. Yeah. So therefore, total time. So total time will be equal to who? 752 plus 248. Somebody's giving me 1,000. 1,000 hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been our pleasure hosting you tonight. And I believe out of whatever you've done, you guys have been able to enjoy something, and you shall be able to use that knowledge to just attempt. I don't want you to get it right. I just want you to attempt the question. Remember, you are my son. You are my daughter here, even if I've seen some of your sons there. But academically, you're my son, you're my daughter. Even if you get it wrong, so what? I'm here to correct you. So ensure that you really follow up. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a lovely Advanced FM class. And of course, if there are new students who would want to join RCM, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. That is our number. And then, of course, I've seen your cries about learning management system. I'm free right now. I'll be able to make lots of progress. We'll be able to have 2 folders for the normal classes and for, as you guys recommended, for special revision. I saw Ninja saying we cannot revise before we read. So special revision questions should be differently set. Good night. Thank you so much. Sleep well too. Great. Great, great. Bye.